What's going on, guys? I'm your host Francis Beau, here to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on anything going on in the world of entertainment, and I'm here to do my spoiler review for Star Wars Last Jedi. I am finally doing my spoiler review. Yesterday I did a review for Ferdinand, so that's why if you guys are asking why I did not do a spoiler review then, that's because I wanted to give some time to talk about Ferdinand. And if you guys want to check out my review for Ferdinand, you guys can. But here we're going to be talking about Star Wars. And of course, if you guys have not seen the movie yet, why are you watching this video? This is going to be a heavy spoiler review, so please exit if you've not watched the film. We're going to be talking about a lot of key points, and yeah, so let's just dive right into it, because I got a couple things that I really want to discuss about Star Wars The Last Jedi. So again, final warning, if you've not seen the movie, you're about to get spoiled very, very hard. So, let's get into it. So the very, very first thing that I wanted to talk about, that really was the thing that that's being discussed a lot, is Luke Skywalker himself. I felt that the way that they handled Luke Skywalker in this film was perfect. I think that the way they handled the character of Luke Skywalker was great. I really, really like the attitude that Luke has in the movie. At first, he's a character that's just kind of out of it. He doesn't want to be part of this whole Jedi or resistance. He doesn't want to be part of it. And you learn why he doesn't want to be part of it. We'll talk about that in a second. But I really, really liked how they handled Luke Skywalker in this film. I really, really like how they made him a little bit different, a little bit older, a little bit more wiser. And when his death happens, when he dies, when he comes back to fight the Resistance, I thought that that was a really good moment in the movie. I know some people had some problems with that, with his death, but quite frankly, I liked the way that they handled his death. It was like a nice, peaceful death for Luke Skywalker. Could they have saved that for Episode 9? Of course they have. They could have. But I feel like it was appropriate to do it here, because now, going forward, we don't have to worry about any other of the older characters. The question is how they're going to handle Princess Leia, because she does not die in this movie, which kind of shocked me. I thought that they were going to kill off Princess Leia in this film, or, do something with her character that doesn't, let her show up in Episode 9. But the way they end the movie, Princess Leia is still around. So it's going to be very, very interesting how they handle, Princess Leia in Episode 9. So, but back to Luke. I really liked how they handled Luke in this movie. I really like how he comes off as this older, wiser character. He seems like a weathered Luke. He's seen a lot of stuff, and you learn that the reason why he doesn't want to be part of all this stuff is because he's one of the main reasons why all this stuff is happening. In The Force Awakens, we learned that Luke Skywalker was, teaching a brand new, batch. I don't know what the word is, but a new group of Jedi. There we go. He was teaching a new group of Jedi, and one of them happened to be Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren. And during the training of being a Jedi, Luke sensed darkness in Kylo Ren, and it turns out the Snoke himself was actually corrupting Ben Solo, and Luke, out of instinct, wanted to kill Ben Solo. And Luke, at that moment, realized that that was not the proper thing to do. In fact, in the movie, he says, at that moment when I pulled out my lightsaber, I'm just paraphrasing, but at the moment I pulled out my lightsaber, I realized that that it was just a little boy. And that moment to me was pretty powerful. I really, really liked the reaction from Adam Driver, and the reaction from Mark Hamill, because this puts Kylo Ren to the Kylo Ren we all know and love. Him being entering the dark side, and it also shows Luke Skywalker's character in pain and giving him a proper reason as to why he doesn't want the Jedi to be around anymore, because he's afraid that he might end up doing this again. And he's also worried that another Jedi might enter the dark side. And we saw that when Luke was training Rey, that Rey was was intrigued and was almost going into the dark side, and Luke was scared about it. Luke got very frightened when he saw Rey was getting closer and closer to the dark side, and um, it frightens him because he's been through this before, and now seeing it again, it just scares him. So they really, really, really handled Luke Skywalker very, very well in this movie. From when we first saw him to his death, I thought that they really, really established Luke Skywalker very, very well in this movie. So that to me was a big positive. So that's the first thing I want to talk about right off the bat, was Luke Skywalker was handled very, very well. And also that awesome fight between Luke and Kylo Ren, I thought that was really, really cool. I really, really liked that fight. Even though it was kind of a short fight, it was still a really, really cool fight nonetheless. And of course, Luke Skywalker, it was just like a hologram or something. A Force Vision? Yeah, Force Vision, I think that's what it's called. I really, really like that, the moment where he just goes like, "See you around, kid," and he just fades away. And I also really like the moment where all the walkers are shooting at Luke Skywalker, and he just leaves with like no bruises or scratches. I thought that was just awesome, like a cherry on the cake for Luke Skywalker. So I really, really liked how they handled Luke Skywalker in this movie. Okay, now let's talk about something that I didn't really like, but I didn't necessarily hate. I know a lot of people were talking about this, and I don't particularly hate it as much as everybody else does, and that would be the Finn and Rose storyline that they put in The Last Jedi. I did not mind it, but at the same time, I could have done without it. It didn't really interfere too much with the story, and it didn't really bother me as much as everybody else did. I thought it was okay. They needed to establish some love story somewhere. It was either going to be Finn and Rey, or it was going to be Finn and Rose, or it was going to be Poe Dameron and somebody else. They were going to establish some love story in one of these movies, and it happened to be Finn and Rose. And I'll admit, yeah, the relationship was kind of like the love triangle thing was kind of forced a little bit. Get it? Forced. That was a horrible joke. But it was not bad. I'll put it that way. It wasn't terrible, but at the same time, I could have done without it. When they get to this whole casino part, I felt that part was a little odd. I got a lot of prequel vibes from those scenes. It wasn't bad though. It wasn't all that bad. So I didn't hate it as much as everybody else did. So now I'm going to talk about some of my favorite scenes in The Last Jedi that I couldn't talk about in my non-spoiler review. The first one, I did mention in my non-spoiler review. If I didn't, I'll say it here. There was a scene that I really, really loved in The Last Jedi. I thought it was one of the best moments in the movie, and that was the Luke and Leia scene. I thought that was a very, very powerful and very, very effective scene. Just seeing Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher in the same frame together, I thought that was just great. Even though it's a hologram that we learned later on, it's still very, very nice to see these two iconic characters reunite after so many years on the big screen. So I thought that was a really, really great moment. I really love that. I really, really love that moment. Another scene that I really loved, a scene that I did not see coming, and that was Luke and Yoda. Yoda does show up in this movie. He makes like a brief cameo appearance, and I really like that. And it was a puppet. It wasn't the CGI prequel, Yoda. There was a little bit of CGI like towards the beginning of revealing Yoda, but it was mostly puppet, and I really, really like that. So that was a really, really cool scene, seeing Luke and Yoda reunite as well. And to me, the greatest fight scene in the entire movie was hands down the Rey and Kylo Ren team up. I thought that to me was one of the best Star Wars fight in the best fight in Star Wars Last Jedi. I thought that was just an epic fight when Rey just throws her lightsaber to Kylo, and Kylo just takes out that guard. And then, of course, the fight between themselves, between Luke's lightsaber, and Luke's lightsaber being destroyed, by the way. I thought it was just an epic battle. I thought it was just a great fight scene, and I was just into that scene. It was a really cool fight scene. Really very well choreographed and very well executed. So very much love that scene. That was a really good scene. Okay, now let's talk about some of the more controversial things that people have been talking about with Star Wars Last Jedi. Two things in particular. And the first one is Rey's parentage. We finally get to learn whose Rey's parentage or inheritance is, and we find out that it's nobody. Rey is a nobody. Um, and I know that that's a bunch of. I know a lot of people are kind of upset about it. They were expecting some big reveal. I personally really like the reveal because it plays in with the theme of the movie. Because the theme of the movie is that anybody can be a Jedi. Anybody can possess these powers, and anybody could become a hero. And it doesn't matter who their background is or who their inheritance is. Anybody can step up to the plate and become a hero and become a Jedi. And and Rey is an example of that. Rey has, no big inheritance. She's a nobody. Um, she started from nowhere, but she somehow brought herself to become a Jedi and a hero of the galaxy. So, and it plays out towards the end as well. When we get to the ending scene with that little kid, with the broom, and you see him looking up to the stars, it symbolizes that, anybody could be a Jedi. Like older, younger, anybody can be a Jedi. It doesn't matter what their background is. It just matters if they're willing to, stand up to the plate and become the hero of the story. So, I think that's why Rey's parentage was nobody, because it's not a big fu to the fans. It just plays with the theme of the story. So I hope that maybe clears it up for some people. And I know the biggest controversy with The Last Jedi, and I'm going to talk about it here, and that would be Snoke. Um, I know a lot of people were expecting something big from Snoke. I know a lot of people were expecting maybe something huge about his character, but Kylo Ren kills Snoke. Um, he gets sliced in half, and um, you know what? That was pretty shocking to me. I got to be quite honest. I did not think that they were going to kill Snoke. I thought he was going to play out into Episode 9, but they did kill him off in this episode. So that was a great twist. I did not see that one coming. I didn't think that they were going to kill Snoke. And um, if he is like this is what I'm going to get at. If he is like officially dead, like if we don't see him at all in Episode 9, then thumbs up for killing him off early, but also thumbs down because we don't really get to know this character all that much. We don't know his background. We don't know much about how he has force powers and all that. Again, the theme of the movie is that anybody could be a Jedi and have the force, but it would have been nice to know more about this character. So it does suck. I wish we would have learned more about this particular character, but Andy Serkis himself brought a very good performance as Snoke. There's a really good scene with him and Kylo Ren at the very beginning of the movie, and I thought Andy Serkis did a really good job playing Snoke. The character of Snoke, I wish we would have gotten a little bit more of his character, but performance-wise, it was very well done. It's just that I wish we got more character out of Snoke. So there's that, and the last thing that I really want to talk about is Captain Phasma. Captain Phasma doesn't do anything really much. There was Ryan Johnson confirmed that there was a 3-hour cut of this movie, and I'm willing to bet anything that the Captain Phasma scenes were most likely on that 3-hour cut, because you could very well tell that she just was shoehorned into the movie. She just shows up and then she's gone. There's one good fight with Finn and Captain Phasma. They duke it out for a quick second, and then Captain Phasma dies, and that's it. Again, I wish that they would have given certain characters like Snoke, Captain Phasma, a little bit more character and a little bit more screen time, so that we can get to know these characters a little bit before they get killed off. So it is kind of disappointing because Captain Phasma has always gotten the short end of the stick with these movies. And I just kind of wish that we got a little bit more of Captain Phasma. So They did say that they might, I could be wrong about this, but they are bringing in the extra scenes to Blu-ray release. Is that correct? I heard something about deleted scenes. I could be wrong about that. Someone let me know. Are they releasing the deleted scenes for the Blu-ray release? Let me know. I could be totally wrong. Um, but other than that, that's really all I needed to discuss. I don't think that there's really anything else that I really wanted to talk about. Rey herself, I think, was better in this movie than in The Force Awakens. In The Force Awakens, it was mainly just the way I view The Force Awakens, it's a reunion movie where they bring in all the older characters and then introduce a batch of newer characters to explore. And then in The Last Jedi, we get to learn about these newer characters more. So, I appreciated her in The Force Awakens, but I really like her a lot in this movie in particular. So, Finn was also good. Poe Dameron was also really good. Um, Carrie Fisher did a really good job as Princess Leia. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. I think she did a great job playing Princess Leia one last time. And again, I'm very, very curious to see what they're going to do with her in Episode 9, because she does not get killed off in this movie. And another thing about Princess Leia is that she uses the Force, right? I'm pretty sure she uses the Force. There's a scene, like one of those twist things that happens in the movie, where Kylo Ren is about to shoot Princess Leia down from the ship, and he doesn't do it, but then a bunch of TIE fighters come in behind him, and they shoot down Princess Leia's ship, and you see her floating in space, and then all of a sudden she becomes Superman. She flies like this, like she just starts flying down like Superman, and she uses the Force, right? I think that she uses the Force. It wasn't like some force field or anything. I'm pretty sure that was the Force. So, we all knew Princess Leia was Force sensitive, but it's nice to see her use the Force once. So, that was pretty neat. So, that was, I know that was also a scene that people had complaints with, but I thought it was okay. But other than that, I don't really think that there's anything else if I really think hard about it. General Hux, he's like the Starscream of this movie. He's trying to become the leader, but Kylo Ren's like the Megatron of the story, wanting to be the ruler. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I really wanted to discuss with Star Wars Last Jedi. As I stated, I really love this movie. I had a lot of fun with it. I know some people did not really enjoy the movie, and that's your opinion. But for me, I really enjoyed Star Wars Last Jedi, and I'm very much looking forward to Episode 9 and the Han Solo movie. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for my spoiler review for Star Wars Last Jedi. You guys let me know. What did you guys enjoy the most about Star Wars Last Jedi? Did you guys have any complaints or thoughts about the controversial parts of the movie, particularly with Rey's parentage, Snoke, Captain Phasma? Let me know. Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia Superman scene, air quote Superman scene, as I like to call it, and everybody else likes to call it. Let me know your thoughts about Star Wars Last Jedi in the comment section below. And that's it for my spoiler review for Star Wars Last Jedi. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, as we end these videos, Beau out. See you next time. Peace.